Me and my homeboy Gary Wayne got fucked up like polio at the Bluegrass Bar one time. Met this old boy, said he knew where to get some good bath salt. Keep in mind, I was mowed the fuck down, so this was a great idea at the time. We was standing there trying to figure out which one of us was able to drive. My buddy drank like 17 beers, and I drank like 16, so obviously I was the better candidate, so I hopped in the fucking ride and we was ready to go. It was only supposed to be like a 45-minute drive. We was all smoking that high-speed chicken feed, and the fucking slowest thing in the world is a meth head in a hurry, in case you didn't know. As soon as we pulled in down there, this old lady looked like a witch come around on an old snapper lawnmower, didn't have no fucking blades on it. She hopped off that bitch and come straight to me. I was backing up, she had her hand out, doing all kinds of shit like that. She opened her hand up and had a half a blue tin in there. I felt like she was inviting me into some kind of like Indian ceremony, like she was treating me like royalty or some shit. She was lifting my hand up, telling me to eat that motherfucker. I said, no, I like the way they smell. Before it could even register what was going on, I looked over her shoulder and I seen an old Chevy Corsica. The trunk popped open, a little scrawny fucker crawled out of it, had some Lee pipes on. He was motioning us to come on. I said, no, she's blocking the shit. I'm kind of scared of her, you know. And old boy we was with knew that motherfuckers because they was giving sign language back and forth. One was with us, he's saying, load the bowl, we'll be over in a minute. I said, minute, hell, I'm being held at Witch Point right here. I don't know what the fuck she wants me to do. About that time, I seen the leader of them come out. Her name was Tracy. She about 350 pounds, had a Mark Chestnut shirt on. Had a pair of them Walmart Ugg boots on. I looked over, you could see the side of them. Her feet been sweating real bad. You could see the salt driving around the edges of them, you know what I'm saying? She had a cigarette burn right there on one of her titties, and her nipple was about that long, looked like a piece of Slim Jim hanging out of it. She said, y'all coming in or not? I said, fuck no, I can't get over. I'm being held against my will by the fentanyl fairy. Look like the Walking Dead over here. I was scared to death. I kept looking at that pill because I wanted it real bad. I ain't gonna lie. I said, I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do here. She said, oh, she just making sure you ain't the law. I looked back down and I said, is that it? She said, and that was a green light for me. I said, I snatched that sumbitch out of her hand like a dumpster dog. They put an old dry rotted piece of wheelchair ramp across the creek. That way we could get over them fucking trailers and get our shit. We got across there, seen a bunch of blue barrels. They had a bunch of fighting roosters. He said, we can't go in the barn. We got to go in the house. We got up on the porch. Old boy's phone rang. He said, y'all go ahead and go on in. Well, I was first in line. I said, son of a bitch. I grabbed the screen door and the whole fucking door come off the side of the trailer. I caught it just before it bounced off my fucking head. About that time, I heard old boy say, damn, I hope my mom put the dogs up. I said, son of a bitch. I could look through that door where I was holding. I seen a little dumpster demon dog, little rat come off a fucking floral arrangement couch, come right toward me. I dropped that fucking door and flopped off the side of that porch. Left my poor old buddy right in the line of fire, and that little meth missile jumped and hit him right in the fucking chest. They both went down the steps. That dog had a hold of him, was tearing him all to hell, and I was screaming and crying and shit. I was all fucked up coming to. I was starting to sober up, and I could feel I was crying and shit. I was emotional. You know how you get, you've been up for a few days, and you start realizing shit. He was getting his ass tore up by the dog. He didn't have no teeth. Well, the dog had teeth. My buddy didn't. I was standing around there like a high school fight. I started cheering. I was like, fuck him up, fuck him up. The dog thought I was talking to him, so he started going even harder. I said, bite him back, bite him back. I felt a little hand pulling on the back of my jeans like this right here. I turned around and looked back. There was one of them little people at Time Forgot babies standing behind me. I jumped and screamed. I said, I was backing up and she just kept walking towards me. Them little dirty digits reaching out for me.